Hello there and welcome. If you're anything like me, you value your memories. Those precious moments, the faces of loved ones, the stories we've gathered over a lifetime, they are what make us who we are. And the thought of those memories fading, of losing that connection to our past, well, it's something none of us want to face. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or struggled to recall the name of someone you've known for years? It happens to all of us from time to time, especially as we get a little older. And while occasional forgetfulness is perfectly normal, it can also be a little unsettling. It makes us wonder, doesn't it? What can we do to keep our minds sharp and protect our precious memories as the years go by? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dive into something incredibly important: how the food we eat can play a huge role in keeping our brains healthy and strong, especially when it comes to something like Alzheimer's disease. Now, I want to be very clear up front. I'm not a doctor, and this video isn't meant to give medical advice. Always talk to your doctor or a qualified healthcare professional before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have any existing health conditions. But what I can share with you today is some fascinating research and practical tips about how certain foods can either help to supercharge your brain power or, unfortunately, contribute to cognitive decline. Think of your brain as a high-performance engine. To run smoothly and efficiently, it needs the right fuel. Give it junk and it's going to sputter and break down. Give it the good stuff and it will purr like a kitten for years to come. In this video, we're going to explore what I call the Alzheimer's diet. We'll uncover 4 incredible foods that have been shown to support brain health and potentially lower your risk of developing Alzheimer's. And just as importantly, we'll talk about 3 common foods that you might want to consider limiting or even avoiding altogether. Knowledge is power. And the more we understand about how our food choices affect our brains, the better equipped we are to make smart decisions for our long-term health and happiness. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's get started on this important journey together. We're going to unlock some powerful secrets to help you keep your mind sharp, your memory strong, and your future bright. Okay, let's get started with the first superfood on our list: blueberries. These little berries aren't just delicious, they're practically brain food superheroes. Seriously, they're packed with antioxidants, particularly a type called flavonoids, which have been shown to have some amazing benefits for cognitive function. Think of antioxidants as tiny little warriors that fight off free radicals in your body. Free radicals are unstable molecules that can damage cells, including brain cells. Over time, this damage can contribute to age-related cognitive decline and increase the risk of diseases like Alzheimer's. Blueberries, with their high concentration of antioxidants, help to neutralize these free radicals and protect your brain cells from harm. Studies have shown that regular consumption of blueberries can improve memory, learning, and overall cognitive performance. One study, for example, looked at older adults with mild cognitive impairment. Those who consumed blueberry juice daily for several months showed significant improvements in their memory and cognitive function compared to those who didn't. That's pretty remarkable. And the best part: blueberries are incredibly versatile and easy to incorporate into your diet. You can add them to your morning cereal or oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, sprinkle them on your yogurt, or simply enjoy them as a healthy snack. I personally love adding a handful of blueberries to my pancake batter on the weekends. It's a delicious and brain-boosting way to start the day. Frozen blueberries are just as nutritious as fresh ones, and they're often more affordable, especially if you don't live in an area where blueberries are grown locally. So, don't hesitate to stock up on frozen blueberries and keep them on hand for a quick and easy brain-boosting treat. Just remember, consistency is key. Eating a handful of blueberries once in a while isn't going to magically protect you from Alzheimer's, but making them a regular part of your diet can provide significant long-term benefits for your brain health. Think of it as an investment in your future mental sharpness. Now, let's move on to our second brain-boosting superfood, fatty fish. When I say fatty fish, I'm talking about fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel, and sardines. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, which is absolutely essential for brain health. Our brains are made up of a significant amount of fat, and DHA is a major component of those brain cell membranes. It plays a crucial role in cell communication, nerve transmission, and overall brain function. Studies have shown that people who consume more omega-3 fatty acids have a lower risk of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. DHA helps to reduce inflammation in the brain, protect brain cells from damage, and improve blood flow to the brain. Think of omega-3s as a kind of brain fertilizer. They nourish and support your brain cells, helping them to thrive and function optimally. The American Heart Association recommends eating fatty fish at least 2 times per week. Now, I know that not everyone is a big fan of fish, but there are plenty of ways to make it more appealing. You can bake salmon with lemon and herbs, grill tuna steaks with a simple marinade, or add sardines to your salads for a protein-packed and brain-boosting meal. If you're not a fan of the taste of fish, you can also consider taking an omega-3 supplement. However, it's always best to get your nutrients from whole foods whenever possible. When choosing fish, opt for wild-caught varieties whenever possible, as they tend to be higher in omega-3s and lower in contaminants like mercury. And if you're concerned about the environmental impact of fishing, look for sustainably sourced options. Again, consistency is key. Aim to incorporate fatty fish into your diet at least twice a week to reap the maximum benefits for your brain health. It's a delicious and nutritious way to protect your memory and cognitive function as you age. Now that we've covered the wonderful benefits of blueberries and fatty fish, let's move on to another powerful food that can help supercharge your brain health: turmeric. This vibrant yellow spice, often found in Indian cuisine, isn't just delicious. It's also a potent brain booster, thanks to its active compound called curcumin. Curcumin has been shown to have a wide range of health benefits, including anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, both of which are incredibly important for brain health. Inflammation is a major culprit in many age-related diseases, including Alzheimer's. It can damage brain cells and impair cognitive function. Curcumin helps to reduce inflammation in the brain, protecting it from harm. Furthermore, curcumin can help to boost brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. BDNF is a protein that promotes the growth and survival of brain cells. It's like a fertilizer for your brain, helping it to stay healthy and strong. Low levels of BDNF have been linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. Studies have shown that curcumin can improve memory, attention, and overall cognitive function. It may also help to prevent the formation of amyloid plaques in the brain, which are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I don't cook Indian food, so how can I incorporate turmeric into my diet? Well, the good news is that it's actually quite easy to add turmeric to your meals. You can sprinkle it on roasted vegetables, add it to soups and stews, or even blend it into your smoothies. I personally love adding a pinch of turmeric to my scrambled eggs in the morning. It gives them a beautiful color and a subtle, earthy flavor. You can also make a turmeric latte by mixing turmeric powder with warm milk, honey, and a pinch of black pepper. The black pepper helps to improve the absorption of curcumin in the body. Speaking of absorption, it's important to note that curcumin is not very well absorbed on its own. That's why it's often recommended to consume it with black pepper, which contains a compound called piperine that significantly enhances curcumin absorption. You can also look for turmeric supplements that contain piperine or are formulated to improve bioavailability. However, it's always best to get your nutrients from whole foods whenever possible. When buying turmeric, look for organic varieties that are free from additives and fillers. And store it in a cool, dark place to preserve its potency. So, don't be afraid to experiment with turmeric and find ways to incorporate it into your diet. It's a simple and delicious way to protect your brain health and potentially lower your risk of Alzheimer's disease. It's a delicious way to spice up your life, literally. And now, for our fourth and final brain-boosting superfood, nuts and seeds. That's right, those crunchy little snacks are packed with nutrients that are essential for brain health. Nuts and seeds are a good source of healthy fats, protein, fiber, and a variety of vitamins and minerals, including vitamin E, magnesium, and zinc. Vitamin E is an antioxidant that protects brain cells from damage. Magnesium is important for nerve function and cognitive performance. And zinc plays a crucial role in learning and memory. Studies have shown that people who consume more nuts and seeds have a lower risk of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. Nuts and seeds can help to improve memory, attention, and overall cognitive function. Walnuts, in particular, are a great choice for brain health. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which, as we discussed earlier, are essential for brain function. Walnuts also contain antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that protect brain cells from damage. Their appearance even resembles a brain. Nature is amazing. Isn't it? Almonds are another excellent option. They're a good source of vitamin E and magnesium, both of which are important for brain health. Seeds like flax seeds and chia seeds are also beneficial. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids and fiber. You can add nuts and seeds to your salads, yogurt, oatmeal, or simply enjoy them as a healthy snack. I personally love snacking on a handful of almonds or walnuts in the afternoon to keep my energy levels up and my brain firing on all cylinders. Just be sure to choose unsalted varieties to avoid excess sodium. And remember that nuts and seeds are calorie-dense, so it's important to consume them in moderation. A handful a day is usually sufficient to reap the benefits. When buying nuts and seeds, look for organic varieties that are free from additives and preservatives, and store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator to prevent them from going rancid. So, don't underestimate the power of nuts and seeds. They're a simple and delicious way to nourish your brain and protect it from age-related decline. Incorporate a variety of nuts and seeds into your diet to reap the maximum benefits. Now that we've explored the 4 superfoods that can supercharge your brain health, let's turn our attention to the other side of the coin, the foods that you might want to consider limiting or avoiding altogether. These are the foods that can potentially contribute to cognitive decline and increase your risk of Alzheimer's disease. And the first food on our avoid list is excessive sugar. Yes, excessive sugar. We all know that too much sugar isn't good for our overall health, but it's especially detrimental to brain health. When we consume excessive amounts of sugar, it can lead to insulin resistance. Insulin is a hormone that helps glucose, sugar, enter our cells for energy. When we become insulin resistant, our cells don't respond properly to insulin, and glucose builds up in our bloodstream. This can lead to a condition called hyperglycemia, or high blood sugar, which can damage brain cells and impair cognitive function. High blood sugar promotes inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain, accelerating cognitive decline. Studies have shown that people with diabetes, a condition characterized by high blood sugar, are at a significantly higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Some researchers even refer to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes because of the strong link between insulin resistance and cognitive decline. Moreover, excessive sugar consumption can lead to weight gain and obesity, which are also risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. Obesity promotes inflammation and insulin resistance throughout the body, including the brain. Now, I'm not saying that you have to completely eliminate sugar from your diet. A small amount of natural sugar from fruits and vegetables is perfectly fine. But it's important to be mindful of your added sugar intake. Added sugars are sugars that are added to processed foods, beverages, and baked goods. They're often hidden in unexpected places, such as sauces, dressings, and even bread. Read food labels carefully and look for hidden sources of added sugar. Common names for added sugar include sucrose, glucose, fructose, corn syrup, and high fructose corn syrup. Limit your consumption of sugary drinks such as soda, juice, and sweetened tea. These drinks are loaded with added sugar and offer little to no nutritional value. Opt for natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup in moderation, and be mindful of your dessert portions. A small piece of cake or a few cookies once in a while is fine, but don't make it a daily habit. By reducing your added sugar intake, you can protect your brain health and potentially lower your risk of Alzheimer's disease. Your brain will thank you for it. Next on our avoid list is processed foods. Processed foods are typically high in sugar, salt, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives. They're often low in nutrients and fiber. These foods can contribute to inflammation, insulin resistance, and weight gain, all of which are detrimental to brain health. The artificial additives found in many processed foods can also have negative effects on cognitive function. Studies have shown that people who consume a lot of processed foods have a higher risk of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. Think of processed foods as brain drainers. They rob your brain of the nutrients it needs to function optimally and replace them with substances that can harm it. Examples of processed foods include fast food, prepackaged snacks, frozen meals, processed meats, e.g., bacon, sausage, hot dogs, sugary cereals, white bread, and pasta. Instead of relying on processed foods, focus on eating whole, unprocessed foods. These are foods that are in their natural state or have undergone minimal processing. Examples of whole foods include fruits and vegetables, lean protein sources, e.g., chicken, fish, beans, whole grains, e.g., brown rice, quinoa, oats, nuts, and seeds. Cook your own meals from scratch using fresh ingredients. This allows you to control the amount of sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats in your food. Read food labels carefully and avoid products that are high in sugar, salt, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives. By limiting your consumption of processed foods and focusing on whole, unprocessed foods, you can protect your brain health and potentially lower your risk of Alzheimer's disease. You'll also likely feel much better overall. And finally, the third food group we should consider limiting is excessive alcohol. While moderate alcohol consumption has been linked to some health benefits, excessive alcohol intake can be harmful to the brain. Alcohol can damage brain cells and impair cognitive function. It can also interfere with sleep, which is essential for brain health. Chronic heavy alcohol use is associated with an increased risk of cognitive decline and dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. Now, I'm not saying that you have to completely abstain from alcohol. A glass of wine with dinner or a beer on a hot day is perfectly fine for many people, but it's important to drink in moderation. The dietary guidelines for Americans recommend that Adults who choose to drink alcohol do so in moderation, up to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks per day for men. A drink is defined as 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits, e.g. vodka, whiskey. Be mindful of your alcohol consumption and avoid binge drinking. Binge drinking is defined as consuming 4 or more drinks in a single occasion for women and 5 or more drinks in a single occasion for men. If you have a history of alcohol abuse or dependence, it's best to abstain from alcohol altogether. And if you're concerned about your alcohol consumption, talk to your doctor or a qualified healthcare professional. By drinking alcohol in moderation or abstaining altogether, you can protect your brain health and potentially lower your risk of Alzheimer's disease. So there you have it, the Alzheimer's diet. 4 foods to supercharge your brain health after 60 and 3 foods to consider avoiding. Let's quickly recap. We talked about the power of blueberries, the brain-boosting benefits of fatty fish, the anti-inflammatory properties of turmeric, and the nutrient-rich goodness of nuts and seeds. On the other hand, we explored the potential downsides of excessive sugar, processed foods, and excessive alcohol. Remember, this isn't about deprivation or restriction. It's about making informed choices that support your brain health and well-being. It's about nourishing your brain with the nutrients it needs to thrive and protecting it from the things that can harm it. Small changes can make a big difference over time. Start by incorporating 1 or 2 of these brain-boosting foods into your diet each week. Gradually reduce your consumption of sugar, processed foods, and alcohol. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. Remember, it's a journey, not a destination. And the rewards, a sharper mind, a stronger memory, and a brighter future, are well worth the effort. I truly hope this video has been helpful and informative. I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What are some of your favorite brain-boosting foods? What changes are you planning to make to your diet to protect your brain health? We can all learn from each other. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more helpful content on healthy aging and brain health. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to create more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you have the power to take control of your brain health and live a long, happy, and fulfilling life. Here's to living your best life with a sharp mind and a strong memory at any age. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.